was 17, I ran away from home and from everything I had ever known.
I was sick and tired, living in a town filled with narrow minds and hate.
They used to laugh at me, their children called me names. I would run and hide, feeling so ashamed.
Just for being born, I was just a boy, punished for a crime that was not mine. Life ain't so easy when you're a ghetto child. Oh baby, life ain't so easy when you're a ghetto child.
Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in to A Spoonful of Comfort. I am Claudine Jackson, your host for A Spoonful of Comfort, here in the beautiful scenery of the Virgin Islands studio. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for adding to people's comfort and not adding to their discomfort. That's the theory behind A Spoonful of Comfort. A spoonful of comfort is the minimum amount of comfort you can give. Everyone has a spoonful of comfort. Even my son with a disability has a spoonful of comfort. And blessings to all of you who are watching. Thank you for the privilege of your time. May you have adventures to sunshine to greet you, adventures to meet you, and joy in whatever you do. May you have God's presence to guide you and good friends beside you and blessings your whole life through. I wish nothing but the best for you, as I know you wish nothing but the best for me. I want to thank the people who are watching. I want to thank the people who donate to the Purvis Jackson Foundation. You know, the reason for all of my speaking and writing is to try to raise money for the Purvis Jackson Autism Foundation that helps lower income children with handicaps, because wealthy children with handicaps don't need the Purvis Foundation. Their parents can send them to camp and pay for treatments and therapies and all the things the Purvis Foundation does for lower income children. And we can't solve every problem, we can't help everybody, but we do what we can for who we can. And the Purvis Foundation scriptures are based on Matthew 25:40, which is, that which ye do for the least of my brethren, you do it also unto me. And lower income children with handicaps fit that category. Galatians 6:9, be ye not weary in well-doing, for in due season ye will reap if ye faint not. Be ye not weary in well-doing, for in due season ye will reap if ye faint not. Proverbs 3:27 says, withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. It is in the power of my hand. I am one of the more fortunate people in the world, and my son is one of the less fortunate. So doesn't God want those of us who are more fortunate to help the ones who are less fortunate? Proverbs 11:25 says, whosoever brings a blessing will be enriched, and one who waters will be watered. So these are the foundations these are the scriptures that base the Purvis Foundation. They keep me fuel to keep going. And then I have a son who can't talk. And there are many people like him who can't talk, who have autism. I can talk. I feel that it is my duty and my responsibility to do something for people in his situation. Now, my husband, Purvis Jackson, was the bass singer of the Spinners singing group. If you don't know who the Spinners are, you can Google them or look them up on YouTube. So when Purvis Jr. came along, I was traveling among the beautiful people in show business. But now I've met a lot of the beautiful people who care for people with disabilities and handicaps. So those of you that support the Purvis Foundation, those of you that help people such as my son, those of you who care and donate to the Purvis Foundation, there's a agency called Network for Good, and people have donated through Facebook to donate to the Purvis Jackson Autism Foundation. They are anonymous. I don't know who you are, but thank you, thank you, thank you. The ones of you who have donated to the Purvis Foundation, thank you so much, and may God continue to bless you as you are blessing us, because all that we do for people with handicaps, I could not do without help from you. So thank you not only for watching, thank you for your support, and I hope you will come out and support the Purvis Foundation event. We give events to raise money for the Purvis Foundation. So the 20 grand reunion is going on Saturday, July 6th, which is this upcoming Saturday, and it's going to be at Burt's Warehouse, which is right across from Eastern Market, located at 2727 Russell. Saturday, July 6th, 7 p.m. Admission is only $20, and you're going to have a good time. People who came last year, I hope you return. We had a great attendance last year, so I hope those of you who attended will come back, and I hope that if you didn't attend last year, that you will attend this year. It's going to be a fun event. We're going to have a hustle marathon, and the last person hustling will get a cash prize. We're calling it Hustling for Autism. I've been hustling for autism for 40 years. So Saturday, we're going to have the rest of you who want to. You're going to be hustling for autism. There's also going to be a tribute to Motown show and old school dancing, so you can get a chance to get your dance on, and you know dancing is good exercise. So the event is going to be filmed, and I will be showing scenes from the event on my show. So hopefully you will come out to the 20 grand reunion. If you're too young to know about the 20 grand, ask your mother, ask your grandmother. The 20 grand was a destination in the 60s and 70s. I mean, a destination where people from all over the world, when they came to Detroit, they came to the 20 grand. The 20 grand was the proving ground for the Motown artists. Before Barry would send his artists on the road, they performed at the 20 grand. So it's really a part of Detroit history, and we don't want it to get lost. And the 20 grand ladies, we will be featuring the 20 grand ladies. All of us 20 grand ladies, we're getting on up there in age. So we're all in our 70s or 80s. But there were 12 20 grand ladies that showed up last time. When I said we're going to have a 20 grand reunion, my daughter said, well, aren't they all dead? I said, nope, there's still some of us around. But we're trying to celebrate the 20 grand as a part of Detroit's history that we don't want to get lost. So I hope to see you Saturday. I hope you come out. It'll be worth your time and effort. Sometimes I know you hate to go out and you say, well, I could have stayed home. Well, hopefully that's not what you'll say for this, that you could have stayed home. And another thing I wanted to tell you about is how blessed I mentioned me being blessed and me being fortunate, but I'm very blessed and very fortunate. June 21st was my birthday, and I turned 80. But the day before my birthday, June 20th, I was in an automobile accident, and my car was totaled. But I walked away. It could have been so much worse. So I'm so thankful that even though the car was totaled, I wasn't. And I heard one of my church members, had a accident right after mine, and he got killed. So you just never know. But some of the scriptures that reminded me right after the accident, my scripture, Psalm 91, 11 and 12, for he gives his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they will bear you up, lest you dash your foot against the stone. I know that the angels had charge over me. I am so blessed and so thankful. 2 Corinthians 9 and 8 says, and God is able to make all grace abound toward you, so that you will have a sufficiency for all your good works. Thank you, Lord, for making all grace abound toward me. Matthew 5 and 45 says, he maketh the sun to shine on the evil and the good, and it rains on the just and the unjust. So we go through life experiencing different things. Nobody experiences everything wonderful, and nobody experiences everything bad. So the accident could have been so much worse than it was, and I am so thankful that I did not get injured. And the driver of the other car, the car that hit me, he didn't get injured either. We were both walking around. So I've been blessed, I've been fortunate, and like I said, turning 80, it could have been a whole lot worse than it was. So people tell me, quit telling your age, quit telling your age. I'm telling my age because I feel that I want people to know that you can get this age and still have life in you and still be able to be a productive citizen of the community, because we tend to think of people when they reach 80 as being over the hill. Well, I tell you, I was over the hill, but I saw another hill. So I am thankful and blessed to have reached this age and still have my faculties. And there's a lot of things that I have learned. When you get this age, there's a lot that you have learned. Like I've learned now, no more stress and mess in my life. No more stress and mess. No more feuding and fighting. No drama and trauma. All that's over. You get this age and you know what to, they say don't sweat the small stuff. You get this age and you don't sweat the small stuff. No more $1 short and a day late for me. That's all over. No more roll with the punches. Now I've learned to go with the flow. No more hard knocks. Oh, it's the school of hard knocks. Learn the hard way. I've already done that. The school of hard knocks. Learn the hard way. All the wrong that I ever wanted to do, I've already done. So I'm not even doing any wrong stuff anymore. And I am just thankful and grateful that I have been blessed to get to this age and to still have my faculties. And I know you remember that old gospel song, I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, but I can't believe that he brought me this far to leave me. So I am thankful. And so I want to share my poem with you. I shared it with you before, and it's called I'm 79. But when I first wrote the poem, it was when I turned 79. And people were telling me, don't tell your age, don't tell your age. Well, now I'm old enough to tell my age. So the poem I'm 79 is, I'm 79 and I feel fine. And that's a sign that I still have time, that God's not through with me or you. Now, what can we do to start anew? What can we do to start anew, to help the situation, to build a better nation, to get an education? We need a revelation of how to do our part to never break a heart. It's time for us to start. Now, with the future for me, it's my destiny to help and to bless. And I will do no less than God's plan for me, to walk in the light, to do what is right. Now is the time to give God praise, and I will be praising him for the rest of my days. Hallelujah. I have turned 80. I still have a future. Jeremiah 29:11, for one of my favorite scriptures, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans for hope for the future. I am 80 and I have hope for the future. I have a book, another book of poems that will be coming out before the end of the year, and I'm 79 will be included in that book, and I have another poem that will be I'm going to share with you before the end of the show, about how to treat people. So one of the things that I like to talk about is, how do we treat people? How do you treat people? The scripture says you treat others the way you wish to be treated. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. That's the golden rule. I don't know if you know about karma. Karma says that what you put into the universe is what you get back from the universe. So if you are a person that's putting a lot of negative energy into the universe, think about the fact that you might be getting that might be why you're getting a lot of negative energy back. And you can change. You can change at any moment. If you are one of the negative people, change your ways before karma gets you, because it's one of the things that is one of the laws of life. Just like gravity, something is going to fall. You know that things will fall. That's a law of life. Karma is also a law of life. So be careful about your karma. And I hope you have friends. And be kind to your friends. You know, friends are people who know all about you, but they like you anyhow. And be kind to your friends. And remember, you don't have to always agree. You can agree to disagree. And you can disagree without being disagreeable. And you don't have to see eye to eye to walk hand in hand. So being kind to each other. One of the Proverbs says, pleasant words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones. I was reading an article about the words that we use affect our own health, and that if we're always using negative words, it's not even good for us, for our health. So if you're using pleasant words, it's good for you. It's good for you too. Pleasant words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones. Maybe one of you can tell me where that's located, or those of you biblical scholars, you'll know. But anyhow, I'm talking about how we treat people. How do you treat people? So I want to share a poem with you about how not to treat people. And this is one of my original poems too. It's not an original story because the story is as old as time. It was a song, it was a poem, it is a story. It's been going on for many years. But this is my version of the snake. Not my original story, but this is my original poem. This will also be in my book of poems that's coming out before the end of the year. The snake. The snake couldn't slither. He couldn't hiss in his pit. He couldn't even hold his head up. He was sick. He was sick. He couldn't stick his tongue out. He couldn't rattle or roll. He couldn't stop shaking. He was cold. He was cold. He thought he was dying. Then a lady appeared and she said, I will help you, so dry up your tears. She picked him up gently and took him inside and washed him and fed him and stayed by his side. If it hadn't been for her, he would surely have died. She doctored and nursed him until he was fine. And then she said, let us celebrate. I'll order some wine. I'll fix us some wine. Now let's make a toast to you and to me. A toast to our future, how great it will be. So she gave him the glass, and he bit her hand. Through her shock and surprise, she said, I don't understand. I helped you. I saved you. I sacrificed too. There was nothing at all that I wouldn't do for you. How could you hurt me? I thought we were friends. And he said, you knew darn well I was a snake when you took me in. So I'm saying how to treat people, but also remember there are snakes out there. And if you don't recognize them, that's one thing. But if you know they're a snake, then you know what to expect from a snake. Some more advice about how to treat people is you never argue with a fool, because a passerby won't know who is who. You never wrestle with a pig. You both get all dirty, and the pig likes it. So there are just some things that are easy to do. Not arguing with the fool is easy to do. Not wrestling with the pig, of course you don't know that they're a fool, and you might not know that they're a pig, but you can be in control of your life and of yourself and make your own life better without letting other people affect you. You don't have to buy into their drama. If someone is coming around you and they're toxic and they're full of drama, and if it comes into you, it doesn't have to stay in you. You can decide, I am not going to let anybody drag me down. I'm not going to let anybody turn me around. I'm not going to let anybody spoil my day. Give comfort. That's what a spoonful of comfort is all about. I'm telling you about my handicapped son. He turned 44 yesterday. I just had a birthday. He just had a birthday. He turned 44 yesterday. He's handicapped by autism. He can't read or write or talk or live independently. And I really thought that he and I would not make it this far. But we did. And I've written a book inspired by autism that tells a story of how I went from crying about his situation to being able to get up here and speak to you. And he is one of God's children, as are all people. And I used to wonder, Lord, what am I supposed to do about this child? What am I supposed to do about this child? And the answer was, accept the person that I gave you. And that was really hard because, we're a survival of the fittest society. We want the biggest and the brightest and the best and all that. And he wasn't any of that. But those of us who are supposedly the biggest and the brightest and the best, aren't we supposed to look out for people like him? So it's almost time for me to go. I hope that you will tune in next Tuesday at 1:30 for a spoonful of comfort. And until then, may the power of God protect you. May the love of God enfold you. And remember, you have a spoonful of comfort.
When I was 17, I ran away from home and from everything I had ever known.
I was sick and tired, living in a town filled with narrow minds and hate.
They used to laugh at me, so ashamed.
Just for being born, I was just a boy, punished for a crime that was